fresh in from Germany, we've got some Wavemaster speakers here that are loaded. This is the Wavemaster 2 BT in the black color with the piano finish. And like, oh no, no, why is this happening? Fingerprints everywhere. So if you like shiny and piano black finish, well, there you go. Just, you know, make sure you're wearing your snooty gloves when you're transferring this from one spot to another. Now these are Bluetooth and a myriad of other options, but they do have Bluetooth, and this is the version 2.0. So we haven't really seen these in America yet, so we're going to pretend these are the first things that we've seen, because it's the first thing I've seen. And we're going to talk about them. First off, let's go through the specs, and then we'll talk about how they sound. Now we have a 2.5 centimeter tweeter right down the top. What kind of thing? I don't know what I'm saying. It's got a silk dome and a ferrite magnet. It produces very precise, decently loud treble, bordering on harsh, but you can turn it down. There's some controls on the back to make it, you know, a little bit smoother, if you will. Right here on the bottom we have it's a woofer slash mid-range, and that's 13 centimeters across, Kevlar cone, and again another ferrite magnet in there. And this thing is tough. I mean, it can really bounce. It can move, and it can produce a lot of bass for the size. One of the tightest bass sounds that I've heard in a speaker this size. And normally I would pair this with a subwoofer, and you could do that if you like. You know, whatever, it's fine. But even just using them as is, it does have quite a substantial amount of bass. Frequency response range on this is 45 to 22,000 hertz. And we have 2 channels. These are powered, so you won't need a power amp. 2 channels, and it'll deliver 30 watts per channel. Not an extreme amount, but plenty from our own experiences in this medium-sized room. This is like a 20 by 15 room, or 20 by 20 room almost. So plenty of power for this. In fact, a bigger living room would be okay as well. Bluetooth 2.1, and it also has some intelligent technology that will let it know, hey, there's nothing going on now. Let's go over into standby mode and use less power. So it'll do that for you. On the back here, we've got a lot of different connectors. So starting up the top, we've got our bass and our treble, and those are knobs you can turn up and down. I found those to be really handy because you actually can tune the sound to exactly what you want with the bass and the treble on the back. I found that turning the treble down just a tiny bit made it sound really nice and smooth, and then cranking the bass up a little bit gave me a little bit of extra power for the music, which is nice. Below that we have line 1 and line 2, which is an 1/8 inch, and then some RCA inputs. And then beneath that we have our speaker outputs, and it does come with a decent amount of speaker wire here. And it also comes with an aux cable. So there you go. Stereo aux cable right there in the box. The back here we do have extra power if you wanted to use the Euro style plugs. You just plug it in right there. So on the back we also have a USB, and max is 5 amp on that, so you can power USB. We also have a plug on the back. It's 110 or 240, so you just plug it in there. We have a AC voltage on the bottom. Make sure you put it on whatever is applicable for the country that you're in. Then you have your power on and off. And just above that, there's a fuse. Of course, your AC input, and the power supply is on the inside here. Both of the speakers have a nice opening in the back. They're just mainly for the bass, so the air's really flying out of there. All right, the dimensions, 180 by 256 by 205 millimeters. So they are, if you guys are familiar with the Audio Engine A2s, they're around that size, slightly smaller than the Audio Engine A5 Plus, which I have. I'm probably going to swap out for either these, or we've got some monoprice ones over here that sound pretty good that are like, in the same category, but these sound very similar to the Audio Engines. I wouldn't call them studio reference or anything like that. They're mainly just for listening to music, but they do a decent job as near-field speakers. The sweet spot, however, is for me about 3 or 4 feet back. So right at your computer is not perfectly the sweet spot. It sounds pretty good. So if you wanted to use them as computer speakers, you could put these on your desk and get away with it. If you're doing studio work, you may want to get some reference grade monitors or whatever. But using them as near field, sitting back just a little bit, they sound fine. Or if you wanted to put them behind your computer, they'll sound fine. I found that these are best to put like on a shelf, separate them a little bit so you get a nice full sound, and then use them as speakers for the entire room. And they sounded great for that. I think one of the things that helps the bass just be so decent is on the inside they've done a lot. It's not just an empty box in there. They've really gone in and sort of acoustically engineered the insides of this, put some padding in all the right spots. So the bass response is really clean and tight for the size. I mean, I can't emphasize enough how decent that sounds. My only gripe would be that the treble out of the box without turning it down is a bit harsh, even compared to the Audio Engine, which I thought also didn't have the best treble. It was sort of smooth, but this one, it can be smoothed out. Also, you have to look around. The price in euros is about 319, and that might be slightly high because in this price range there are a lot of decent options for you know, maybe 50 to 100 less in euros, and that's going to be even more so when you translate that over to US dollars or Canadian dollars or whatever. So they might not be the best price to performance ratio I've ever heard, but they do sound really good. And one of the things you're paying for is just all the options. You know, just having the ability to you know, run AC, plug it into the back here, you know, charge devices, use Bluetooth, different input methods. So that's all really nice. You're getting a lot of features for the money, and the sound quality is really good for the money. So a lot to weigh there. The other thing I'm not too wild about is the piano black finish, but there are several different options there. You can get them in white, you can get them in black. You know, there's just different options. You guys can check them out on their websites. So if you guys have questions, go ahead and put them on the forum. We'll take a look over there. Thanks again to everyone you know, who's supporting us on Patreon and also on tech support. You guys are really helping a lot. Go ahead and click on the links over here on the side of the screen. The t-shirts are freaking awesome, man. You guys should grab up a t-shirt because they're freaking amazing. And yeah, just everything over there, just click it away right now before it goes away. And we'll see you guys in the forum. If you guys want more audio videos, let me know. I'm going to do them anyway, so just, you know, make me feel good by saying, hey, we'll take some more. Yeah, we'll see you guys later.